So, hi everybody. My name is Lisa Blaisdell, and I am so excited to welcome all of you guys to our next Shred 10 group. We have a couple people with us live on the phone tonight and on Zoom. We have Christine Burke, who I know a lot of you guys are part of her group, and Amy Phillips and Jan Martin, who's up in Northern California, and I know a lot of you guys are her friends, and we're invited by her to join us on the Shred, and I'm super excited. And I'll just share a little bit about my story as we go tonight, so you know who I am. But I'm going to dive right in because we have some great information to cover, and I want to help you guys get off to a great start. We're heading into the Labor Day weekend. I know everybody's looking forward to having a lot of fun, and then we're going to shred. So I want to make sure that you guys got this information. So the Shred 10 is an awesome program, and I'm just going to give you guys a super quick overview as to why we need to shred. We all have toxins in our body, and I think we all know that. We have toxins in our body because of the water, the air, the food that we eat, and we could go down that kind of sad road, but it is the reality of which we live in. And that's why it's so important that we do everything we can to get the toxins out of our body. And unfortunately, a lot of the food that we eat, the quality of that food is decreasing. So we really need to pay attention to the food that we're putting in our body and our family's bodies. It certainly isn't the food that we all grew up with. So we have toxins in our body, and that's why it's really important that we shred. And the first thing that I really want to encourage all of you to be thinking about this weekend, and you can even write it down, you can share it with the person who invited you to join you on the Shred, is why do you want to do this now? I think with everything that we do, every little challenge that we take on in our lives, if we know why we're doing it, we are certainly going to be more accountable to ourselves, we're going to be more committed to it, and we're going to be more successful. So I know that for me in the past, everything that I do, and I know why I'm doing it, it just helps keep me motivated and focused. So really be thinking about that as you head into the Shred, and it will make all the little things that we have to do, the little challenges, seem that much easier for us. All right, I want to talk about what this process is because it was really fascinating to me when I learned this. I didn't really understand this, and it really is true. I've experienced this firsthand, and you don't have to worry about reading all these words, but basically toxins are stored in fat cells in our body. So the fat that we have is holding on to toxins, and that is to protect our vital organs, because any toxicity that is exposed to our vital organs, that certainly isn't good for our overall health in general, obviously. So when people lose weight and they restrict calories and they exercise and they do all the traditional things, you can certainly lose some fat temporarily, but those toxins are still there and they're still in our body. And so our bodies have really a self-protecting mechanism to get that fat back as soon as possible so that they are not exposed to our vital organs. And so this is really typical of people that you will see. They'll diet and diet and diet, and they'll work so hard, but they still have a lot of toxicity. They're still, can be very unhealthy unless they get rid of those toxins. So this process, and this is what really helps me stay focused, this process of really shredding, and that's why we call this, the Shred, shredding these toxins, getting rid of the toxicity and flooding our bodies with all this nutrition, which I'll talk about, and taking the fat with it. So if you think of it as an opposite idea, if we think about it is that we're trying to shred the toxins, and a byproduct of that is that some of the fat goes with it, it really makes a lot of sense. It sets your body up for long-term sustainability and health, and not rebounding and not putting back on the fat that, some people shouldn't have and some people just don't really want to have. So that is the difference between dieting and this whole program that we're about to undertake called the Shred. Does that make sense to you guys that are on the call?
Yep.
I know that this can be kind of a new concept for people. And feel free to Any questions?
It totally does. And I have completely noticed this, and I've wondered sometimes where I've kind of gone off over the weekend and kind of eaten some things I wasn't supposed to. And usually it takes me, it's really hard to get back. And I've noticed that I come back to more of my, just maintenance level a lot faster and a lot easier.
Yeah, totally.
I love it.
Totally. Well, I'm going to read you some quotes that really relate to that in just a second. That's really great, Amy. So what are we going to do? So we're going to flood our body with 45 whole plant foods. And if you're new to Juice Plus, if you're just saying yes to all of this for the first time, I am so excited for you. I am so happy for you. This is truly, for me, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, is to add this nutrition to my family's diet. And my story is really unique. I've been on Juice Plus for almost 17 years. I heard about it when my kids were little. We were a really sick family, not in a crisis or anything, but just really run down, a lot of antibiotics, a lot of visits to the doctor. And I just didn't want to be that way anymore. And we said yes to Juice Plus. Back in those days, there was only the Orchard and the Garden. In a couple years later, they added the Vineyard, so I added that in. And then a couple years later, they came out with the Complete. And so my family has enjoyed Juice Plus and a shake a day for, the last 12 years. We've been using the Complete. And we are a completely different family than we were 17 years ago. Obviously, I've raised my daughters on it. We hardly ever get, sick where we need antibiotics or any of that. I feel great. But I have learned a lot over the years, and I know that we have to be proactive. And even though we've made a ton of changes and we do really well and we eat, really, really clean, I know that we need this tool in our life forever, because there is just no way I could ever eat all these fruits and vegetables and get this nutrition in as simply and as easily as we have been able to with Juice Plus. So I'm really grateful for Juice Plus. One of the things that's really important about the Complete and this program is keeping your blood sugar stable. This is one of the key success factors with the Shred. So what we are looking to do is stay in a stabilized blood sugar zone all day long, so that you're not craving food, so that you're not experiencing these highs and lows. High glycemic foods, breads, pastas, cereals, bagels, all the things our kids like to eat in the morning, sadly, they will take your glycemic index really high, and then you will have a crash low. And your blood sugar is, really asking for food. So the thing about the Complete that's really magical, truly, and I experience this every single day, is that a shake will sustain us. And because you're getting the proteins, because you're getting the fiber, and because the glycemic index, one serving of Complete is equivalent to a cup of broccoli. That's how low the glycemic index is. So anyone that's a fitness professional or really scared of sugar, don't let the label scare you, because it's not, first of all, the sugars are all natural. They're from natural fruit sources. And your glycemic index is low, and that's really what matters. So that is a really important part of the Shred that I really like everyone to understand. And of course, our shakes, if you're new, they're vegan, they're non-GMO, they're gluten and dairy free, they're all plant-based. They have this incredible prebiotic fibers, and it keeps our blood sugar stable. So he doesn't come with the Shred, unfortunately, but maybe the next time. No. So I have one every day for breakfast. And then with the Shred, the second shake, which is a game changer, and I truly have experienced this for myself. The second shake can be any time of day. It can be a snack. It can be, a dinner. If you want to just have a light dinner, if you have a really big lunch, and I'll, talk about ideas and things as we get into this. Usually what my Shred days look like are a shake for breakfast after I work out. And then, and I'll put fruit and a lot of kale and maybe a little bit of avocado, just to have it really be a good, healthy meal. And then a really healthy salad or something like that with some protein. And then I like to have a shake for dinner. That's just my preference. You don't need to, if you still have young kids and eating dinner as a family is a priority, which I think is so important, you can have it as a snack. And I know for me, we all have our trigger times, we all have our trigger foods. The times where you're the most vulnerable to snacking or making poor choices. Make those the times that you make a shake. And it can be as simple as shaking it in a little shaker and some plant milk, and that's it. It doesn't even need to be fancy. And it will tie you over until your dinner. So the research on Juice Plus is unprecedented, and this is truly why Juice Plus has been around for 25 years. It's why thousands of healthcare professionals put their patients on it every single day. And I really encourage you to get educated about this because it's just incredible. One of the studies that I'll highlight that uses our Complete, which I think is so unique because there are a lot of protein powders on the market. It's very common. Everyone loves shakes now. But we have a study that came out of MD Anderson on ovarian cancer survivors and their quality of life. And they were given Juice Plus and the Complete. They had higher protein markers, they had better quality of life, they had better energy, and they had a longer lifespan, basically. And that was compared to eating 10 fruits and vegetables every single day, which is very difficult to do. And MD Anderson was so captivated with the results of that study that they're doing another study, which isn't published yet. So we are now going to talk about some of the things that we're going to shred, the food and the toxins and the habits that are not serving us. And these are the guidelines for the 10 days. And this is all going to be put on our Facebook page. Actually, if you go there now, the files section already has the shred guide. I was just saying to the girls earlier, we're just as bad as our husbands. Nobody likes to read an instruction manual. So that's kind of why I also wanted to do this call. So I think it's just nicer to listen to things and get told what to do. But that guide really is thorough. It gives you grocery lists. There's recipes. There's so many great things about what we're doing. But here's what we're doing. We're adding more real food. We are taking our Juice Plus Trio, Orchard Garden Vineyard, 2 capsules, so a total of 6 capsules every day. We are drinking 2 complete shakes, whenever you want to, in the morning or at lunch or in the afternoon, every day. We are getting plenty of water, lots and lots and lots of water. So if you're not a big water drinker, this is a great challenge for you. I don't know, wherever you live right now, it's hot. So hopefully you're already drinking a lot of water, but really, really flooding your body with water all day long. Sleeping, I know as women, we don't like to go to bed early, especially my friend Christine. Some people struggle with this, but I really challenge you guys to really take care of yourself and let the dishes sit, let the laundry sit, whatever are the little chores that we do at night, and get some sleep. Your body is detoxing, and I'm going to talk about that, and it needs to heal. That is when we heal and our cells repair. It's at night. You're going to exercise most days. And if you're not a big exerciser already, again, this is a great challenge for you to take on. And you got to do what you love. You got to do what's fun. Grab a buddy if that makes a difference for you. Go just walking. It doesn't have to be a big deal. If your dog has been neglected all summer, then, start walking your dog and, really just try to do something, try to move. YouTube has so many great videos from yoga, stretching, all kinds of great things. So here's what we're going to eliminate. We're going to eliminate gluten. And I actually had somebody, a friend of mine from high school, reach out to me today and say, I've never eliminated gluten today. Can you help, ever? Can you help me with this? And, really the basics of eliminating gluten are the breads, the pastas, the packaged crackers, the chips, all the stuff that you don't want to really be eating anyway, the rolls, all of the things that are not going to be great for you on the shred, you want to get rid of them. And there are Go ahead.
Do beans have gluten?
Are what?
Do beans have gluten?
No, they're a legume.
Okay.
Good question. So, but there are a ton of gluten-free products. It's a big market now, this whole gluten-free craze. But I would really just caution you just to be careful with that because they're typically a lot of empty calories, high in sugar, high in carbs. Just really decide that you're going to, instead of having cheese and crackers, you're going to have hummus and veggies, make a veggie tray with peppers and cucumber and carrots and things that are crunchy, because I know a lot of people who like carrots, who love crackers, you love that crunch, that whole experience. So I like celery, broccoli, cauliflower. Those are all really great replacement snack items. Dairy. Dairy is an inflammatory food. Everything that we're asking you to eliminate for just the 10 days, we're just asking you to eliminate these things for 10 days. It's because they're inflammatory foods. And we're really, again, trying to get rid of all these toxins. This is not like we didn't just like make this up. And the video that you guys all watched, and you're going to watch another video from her, Dr. Mitra Ray, she's really, really educated on this. And she orchestrated all this. So there's definitely some science behind it. I know it's really un-American to say that dairy isn't good for you, but dairy isn't good for you. So don't eat it. Don't give it to your kids. As much as you can, And it's a process for some families, I know, but do the best you can. Caffeine. This is tough. I have a whole couple slides on caffeine. We'll come back to this. Alcohol. All I can say, ladies, is it's just one weekend. It's just one weekend, and you will sleep better. You will feel better. Your skin will glow, and it will be waiting for you when the 10 days are over. We can do it. Processed foods, like I talked about, anything that's in your pantry that's, in a box, in a bag, really stay away from it. Obviously, artificial and refined sugars, and the sugars are hidden in most gluten products. So you're kind of doing everything at once by getting rid of all those gluten products. And then the last one that I know is also very much a struggle. This is probably the biggest struggle I have with all the busy moms that I help when I do my shred groups, and that's eating after 6. And this is definitely a challenge for, busy families, working moms, and everyone. And all I can say is do the best you can. I mean, if it's 6:30, it's fine. Do the best you can. The whole concept of giving your body time to rest and fast. When you are sleeping, your body is healing. It's detoxifying. It does not want to be busy metabolizing food. So there's a lot of science behind this. I know Christine has really become an expert on this in the last 6 months of this year. I froze. I'm back.
You're back.
Sorry, I'm back. So I was going on about not eating after 6. So again, do the best you can. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You are going to start to crave more fruits and vegetables. Maybe, just maybe, you might lose a few pounds. I'm going to talk about that. You're going to have better recovery from your workout. You are going to sleep better for sure. That's one of the biggest things I hear. You are, after the first couple of days of maybe not feeling great, you are going to get to the other side and you're going to have better energy. And this is all from taking Juice Plus anyway. You're going to have healthier hair, skin, and nails for sure. You're going to have improved regularity for sure, which is good. And you will have less brain fog. And I have had many people tell me that go through the shred say that they just feel clearer. And I think that's really remarkable. I wanted to share with you guys some of the little quotes. This is just my typing, but I asked these girls permission to share. These are some of my, they're with us in the group. They're like always shredding. They're awesome. My friend Christy, she's a cancer survivor. She says, so I just have to share, today I hit the 15 pounds loss mark since my first shred in May. Most importantly, I've really shredded old habits and I have new and improved ones. And I don't think I've ever felt better. Thanks for the encouragement. I mean, this makes me want to cry. Like, she's gone through a lot. And I'm so excited and happy for her. Another good friend of mine who is a typical yo-yo dieter. She's an expert dieter. She's been on every single one. She says, good news is I don't gain weight fast like I used to. I attribute this to my body just working better. I weigh the same as I did before I went to Europe. She was in Europe for a month. And I've been pretty relaxed on eating for 5 weeks, including birthday month and more vacation, with a few strict shred days in between. So she has really regulated her body. And I'm so happy for her too, because she really struggles. It's not easy for her to keep weight down. So, okay, so let's talk about food prep. This is really great. And I know, Jen, you were talking about this before when we came on, that this really helped you get organized. And, you know, school's back in session. That's why I think so many people want to shred right now, and staying organized for ourselves and our families is so great and fun and easy to do. So these are all my personal pictures. So this was after my 20-year-old decided that we were going to eat really healthy, and she went to the grocery store. And you guys all know how to shop. I'm not going to tell you how to shop, but these are just some of the things that, you know, I usually stock up on. The yogurts, I like to point out, are dairy-free yogurts. Those are actually coconut yogurts. Sophie has one every day when she gets home from school. They can be high in sugar, so get the plain, but they make a great alternative. A lot of hummus, a lot of fruits and veggies, nuts, salsa, nut butters are great. So you guys know how to shop for your families. This is some great pictures of food prep. I think, Jen, these are your salad in a jar that you made. And because it's the holiday weekend, I know a lot of people are going out of town, but a lot of times I like to have salad in a jar parties before we shred. But if you're in a community and your neighbors are all together and you guys want to do this, or even do it with your kids, you guys, I mean, you know, get some salads and they will last in jars all week. They really will, I promise. So if you commute, or if you know, go to work every day, do yourself a favor and make 5 salads, and they will be as good on Friday as they were on Monday. And Jen had an amazing salad in a jar party at her house a couple weeks ago, and I hope you guys all enjoyed your salads. And then this is another picture just of, you know, putting things in containers, super simple to do. This is what we do in my family. I'm just a roaster, like just turn on my oven and just roast away. It's so easy to do. And then you just have it. This is, again, I'm showing all Jen's great pictures of her roasting chickens and all the great things in her oven. And I'll post pictures to you guys on Facebook. Don't worry. It's really a great community. So let's talk about coffee. Coffee was the reason I said no to the Shred 10 program for about 6 months. And I got a lot of slack from my team and a lot of my colleagues, because I thought, you don't have to quit coffee to take Juice Plus, and you don't. But I am, because this is what caffeine withdrawal looks like. So here's what I really want to encourage you guys to do. If you're really serious about why do you want to do this? I really encourage you guys to really give this your best shot for 10 days. And I have done this before. I am not a first-time cleanser, shredder, whatever. I have done a lot of cleanses. I've done juice cleanses. I've, you know, like had to like shut off my life and cleanse. So I've done this before, and it's not pretty if you go cold turkey. So I really encourage you guys this weekend to start to cut back. If you drink 2 cups or more a day, take it down to 1. By Sunday, if you can just be drinking half calf, just drink a half calf. And then Monday, maybe even go to an herbal tea, like green tea, which does have, or caffeinated tea, because it's less, it's a little less harsh. And then by Tuesday, you will not feel as bad as if you drank coffee all weekend and then just went cold turkey. Don't go cold turkey. I have done that before. It is really painful, and you won't feel good at all. So this is a little picture of what I usually do most mornings anyway, even when I am drinking coffee. I know everybody thinks it's crazy, but I love it, and I really have craved it now. And there's a lot of benefits of apple cider vinegar. So I make apple cider vinegar. I heat up a kettle of water, and I just put in like a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I squeeze in some fresh lemon, and then I sprinkle a little cinnamon. And it's actually really good, but you don't have to do that. Some other ideas, and I know Christine gave all of Jen's friends this beautiful jar of the Dandy Blend, and I am ordering the Dandy Blend because I am committed to going off coffee for 10 days. But I really want to still experience having some coffee. So I'm going to order the Dandy Blend. There's another kind too that I found on Google that I put this picture here that's called Maya. But, you know, herbal teas, if you need to do green tea for a couple of days and ease your body off. But there really is a lot of science behind, you know, giving your body a break from the coffee. And I think you guys will find that in a couple of days, you don't even really miss it, especially if you get up right away and you have your shake. Like maybe have a little of the Dandy tea and then have a shake. And I'm telling you, your blood sugar will stabilize. You'll have great energy. You You won't miss it. Okay, so I do want to address the detox, and I'm going to help everybody through this. The first 3 days, people can kind of not feel good, especially if you are new to Juice Plus and complete. If you're not new to Juice Plus, then you won't have as much detox, but a lot of you guys are starting all of this at once. So I really want to hold your hand, and I just want to let you know that it is going to be okay. We will get through it together. You are not alone. And you are doing a lot of good for your body because you've got to get those toxins out, you guys. We've got to get them out. So what could possibly happen? You definitely might have a headache. Even if you do the coffee withdrawal right, you still will probably get a little headachy the first couple of days. You might really feel some fatigue. That's always usually what I go through. A little bit of irritability, especially if you can't have your coffee or your wine at the end of the day. Some bloating can happen at the beginning. It's usually like you kind of bloat up and then it kind of goes away. You could have some GI issues either way. So again, we're gonna go through this together. We're gonna talk about bowels and all kinds of good stuff. Like I've heard it all. Don't worry. Trouble sleeping could be. Skin breakouts, definitely that happens for sure. Your body's just excreting. It wants to get it out. And let it get it out, you guys. So just know that it's a good thing. And when you're on the other side, it's so worth it. It really, really is. And we're really here to support you as a community. Okay, so the last couple slides, and I'm going to post all of this, but I wanted to get you guys excited about some of the fun things that you can do with your complete, and especially if you're getting your family involved. And, you know, I know a couple of husbands are going to do it, and my husband has a huge sweet tooth, and if we don't have some of these things in our freezer, he's like making the girls go to Rouse to get ice cream. So, and I'll post this. So don't worry about writing any of this down. This is my favorite thing to do with the complete, other than make a shake, is to make these little complete balls. There's a couple of different versions. I personally like this one. I started doing it at Christmas, but then I'm like, oh, it's Christmas every day if I can have my complete balls. So I do it. And they're so yummy. I don't use honey. I keep it really low in sugar. I don't use chocolate chips, but you can if you want to. We have this stuff called cookie dough that everybody got into. All the Juice Plus people did a couple months ago, where you heat up coconut oil and then you stir in some of the complete, and you can add like some nut butter if you want, and it's like cookie dough. I swear it's like cookie dough. It's so funny. People love it. And then we have bars, just different versions of, you know, just kind of having fun. And again, just make sure all your ingredients are gluten-free so you can kind of have fun with this. And again, I just try to keep everything super low in sugar. There's another recipe for some other version of the complete balls, and you can definitely enjoy that. So my final thoughts, and I want to take you guys' questions. I know we've gone over a half an hour. I wanted to keep this to a half an hour. Stay connected on the Facebook page. I know not everyone's super religious about Facebook, and that's totally normal. But for these 10 days, try to check in because you'll feel good. Like, we are really supportive, and post, like, even like get out of your comfort zone and like post like your shake or what you're making. Or I know it's so silly, like we're all like our teenagers posting pictures of food and stuff, but it just helps. Review your Shred 10 guide. Definitely check it out over the weekend. Print it out if you can, if you like to do that. Remember your why, and it is all mindset, you guys. Every challenge that we take on in life, it's all mindset. It's only 10 days. Focus on shredding the toxins. Remember those toxins. We're focused on that, not the weight. And embrace it and have fun. And I do want to challenge you guys to take a picture, like either like in your workout clothes or your bathing suit or whatever. You don't have to show it on Facebook. Maybe share it with your good friend or the person, if you're really close to the person that invited you to the shred. I just learned this trick this week, and I'm telling you, it makes a difference, because you will notice that your body does change, whether it's your midsection or behind or whatever. It will change. And if you don't want to show anyone, that's totally fine. But I really encourage you to do that. We also have like measurement stuff that I'll focus, because a lot of times it's not the scale that changes. It's just your body just changes. And then I'm going to post tonight, after this call, Mitra Ray's 22-minute detox video, which is really informative and educational. It kind of takes that whole conversation of shredding the toxins just a little bit deeper. And I do want you guys to watch that because I think it's really helpful. And I post a lot of videos throughout the 10 days of like, you know, what to do if you have to go out to eat. I do post a couple of success stories to keep us motivated. But please know that I love supporting people on the shred. Like, this is one of my favorite things to do. I've really realized I get like this helper's high. I call it a helper's high. I love to help people. I love, especially women, to help them feel good and just really take care of themselves for 10 days. So that's all I have. And do you guys have any questions? Definitely ask questions. This is your time. Are you all scared?
I'll just say with the coffee thing, it's coffee for me was a habit. I loved it. I love getting up in the morning and enjoying my coffee. But if I grab my shake first, it was a mental thing kind of. I know with a lot of people if it's a chemical thing, but I was fine after that. And it really helps doing the shake right away for me.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, Jenny. Amy, were you going to say something?
I was on my 4-hour flight from Chicago tonight. I typed up some food ideas that Christine and I have talked about over the last several weeks because we like, you know, doing the low carb stuff. And so I've sent them over to Christine to add hers, but we can send those out to the group too.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Cool idea.
And you know, one thing that comes up a lot since we're talking about questions, this is not like, it is, we want you to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. We want you to eat a lot of whole foods, but it's not a vegan diet. Like if you love to grill chicken and fish and even some grass-fed steak or whatever, it's not a vegan diet. It's not. So I just want to clarify that because that comes up a lot. And a lot of the recipes in our book are plant-based, but you can certainly have your meat. Yeah, I can't wait to see your recipes. Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for coming live. I love this call and I can't wait to shred with you guys. So thank you so much again for coming and everybody have a great night.